Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk about something that is pretty close to my heart and something I dealt with behind the scenes for a good part of a year and a half, and that is my journey with secondary infertility. Whether I'll probably chop and change between saying like our journey of secondary infertility or my journey, because we never really determined where the issue was coming from, which in secondary infertility you don't really find out an answer of what the issue is. So basically, if you don't know what secondary infertility is, it is when a couple has a child, but when they go to have another child, or a second, third, fourth, how many of a child's down it is, you struggle. And a lot of couples face this struggle a lot more than you would think, but it is really not spoken about. And when I was going through it, I felt like I was the only person in the world that couldn't get pregnant. And now in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't get pregnant when we first started trying, because no one could have prepared me for how difficult the toddler ages are. Toddler stage is, it's still going. But I'm glad now that it happened to me, and Amira came at the right time with Nisa's age, and I feel like things are a lot easier for me now than it could have been if we had fallen pregnant earlier. So when Nisa was around 1.5, we decided definitely we want to have another child. Let's start trying, basically. And each month went past, and it was multiple negative pregnancy tests over and over again for a year and a half. And they usually say like it can take a normal couple to fall pregnant, it can take up to a year. So after that year mark, I was like, well, I'm going to the doctor because something is not right. With Nisa, we fell pregnant on the first or second month, and with Amira, it just wasn't happening. So after a year, I went to the doctor. I was like, look, we've been trying for a year. I don't understand. My first pregnancy, I fell pregnant straight away. What is happening? So basically my doctor sent me for blood tests to see if anything was wrong, like with my levels in like all different areas of like things, iron, vitamin C, vitamin D, everything that they checked, everything was normal. And I was like, well, I don't understand what it is. Then she asked me if I had ever been diagnosed with endometriosis or PCOS. I was like, nope, have never had anything related to this, haven't had any issues of that. So she sent me for an ultrasound just to check and just to make sure that it wasn't one of those options. So I went, I had an ultrasound, and they were like, everything is looking fine. There could be what looks like maybe really small amount of endometriosis, but we can't really say that it is that until your doctor looks at it. So my doctor looked at the ultrasound once it got sent to her, and she said what they thought was maybe a little bit of endometriosis was nothing. It was just part of my body on the scan. So we had ruled out that everything was fine with my blood test, so nothing was wrong there, and nothing was wrong with my ultrasounds. So I was like, well, I really do not know what's happening, because it's now been a year and a half that we have been trying and we are still not pregnant. What can we do? So she referred me to a fertility specialist, I guess you would call them that. And I never actually made it to that appointment, because the next month so after my ultrasound to see what was going on, the next month I fell pregnant, which is crazy to me how life works. And obviously my body just needed time. I was stressed. I was going through a lot of things over that year and a half. I had a lot of things going on. So maybe it was that. You just never know, really. Over that year and a half, it really brought up a lot of feelings and emotions that I wasn't expecting to feel during that time. Obviously, we were expecting it was going to happen pretty fast because that's how it was with Nisa. And by the third, fourth, fifth month, when it was just constantly negative pregnancy tests and nothing was happening, I started to feel really sad and alone. And like, I was the only person going through this in my life. Like, none of my friends around me were pregnant at the time, or none of my friends really are in the same life stage as me. So none of them are pregnant, none of them are married. So they're just not in that life stage. So I had no one to talk with this about. And I felt so alone. And I posted a few TikToks here and there about how we're trying, and it's again another negative month. But I never really went into it because I wasn't emotionally ready to share that side yet. Because truly every month came round and I was crying, like, why are we still not pregnant? I was blaming myself, like, what's wrong with me? Why is my body not doing this? This is what my body is made for, and now it's not doing its job. So over and over again, these negative emotions were brought up every single month, and I honestly was just at the point of giving up and not even trying to have a baby, because I was like, why is my body failing me? And my husband, bless him, every month he was like, it's not your fault, everything happens in the right timing, just stop stressing, it will happen when it happens, you don't need to be so hard on yourself. And obviously someone telling you that is easy for them to tell you that, but when you're going through it and you feel like this is your body's job, why is it not doing its job? It is really hard. One of the hardest things about this also was that it's basically invisible to everyone else. No one is coming to the doctor with you. No one is understanding the emotions and sadness and pain that you're feeling every single month. And no one can fully feel that unless they have gone through it themselves or they're going through it as well. I feel like nobody can really truly understand this pain, the sadness. Obviously my husband was very empathetic and he was like, look, I understand you're sad. I want this baby just as much as you do. So that was nice. And obviously my mom was like, just stop stressing about it. It will happen when it happens. Just relax and let nature take its toll. Another thing that I really struggled with deep down was every single month, people constantly asking, are you pregnant this month? Are you pregnant this month? Hello, do you have any news for me? Did you get pregnant this month? Is anything happening? Do you have any news, any updates? What's going on? Did you go to the doctor? What did the doctor say? The constant questions. You're already feeling so many emotions, and when everyone else is expecting this great grand news of you're going to tell them like, yeah, I'm pregnant, woohoo, and you don't have that for a year and a half, that's like what, 18 months, when you're telling people for 18 months, no, I'm still not pregnant, no, we don't know what's going on, no, I have no idea what's happening. That is also so hard because you're already feeling sad in yourself. Then when you have to constantly over and over again reiterate that, no, I'm still not pregnant, it's really sad, it's really hard, and it makes you just feel like crap, basically. So a little tip for you all, if you know someone who is maybe trying and they haven't told you that they're pregnant yet, maybe don't ask them every single month, are you pregnant? Because they probably don't want to hear it. You can support them. If they come to you and be like, look, I'm still not pregnant, what can I do? I just need support. Support them. But don't just constantly go to them, are you pregnant? Do you have any news, any updates? What's going on? Are you pregnant yet? Because believe me, it's soul shattering. It hurt every single time I had to tell someone, no, I'm not pregnant. And it's not like you just tell one person and that's it. Multiple people ask on multiple different days all the time, are you pregnant? And when I have to tell them no, 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 over and over again, it really sucked. If you are going through secondary infertility or infertility of any kind, I just want you to know that you're not alone, even though it may feel like you are the only person in this world that is going through it. Believe me, you are not alone, and all of your feelings are valid. Every doctor's appointment that you want to book just to check is valid. So please, I know it's honestly the hardest time I've gone through in my life. And even looking back, I feel like I was just a soul of a person, because that's all I was thinking about every day, every minute is, are we going to be pregnant this month? Are we going to be pregnant? And when it came around and it was always no, I just felt crushed and alone. So believe me, if you're going through this, you're not alone. You do have so much support around you, and it is really hard. And I feel so bad for anyone that has to go through any infertility of any kind, because it's truly like the saddest thing I've ever gone through. And I will never forget those days of every month setting up my camera to record my reaction to a positive pregnancy test, and it was always like, no. Then it comes a time when you are finally pregnant, then it's the constant worry, is this even real? Is this made up in my brain? Am I really pregnant? What happened if this pregnancy doesn't last? Because every minute, second between each of my appointments, I was like, I don't know if the baby's okay, especially when you're that early. There is no movements, there is no feelings, unless you get nauseous. I never got nauseous, but you have like no idea if everything is okay until you have your next ultrasound. And the first 12 weeks were honestly the hardest for me, because I was like, I've waited a year and a half for this. I don't want anything to go wrong. So I was always like, how do I know if everything's okay? I can't feel the baby moving. All of my blood tests were going well and my HCG levels were going up. But what if they just suddenly stop, or the baby stops growing? So all of those thoughts after struggling to get pregnant is also so sucky, because you want to enjoy finding out you're pregnant. You're so excited. You want to enjoy that time and start telling family and things like this. But it also sucks so bad, because you're constantly worrying, am I still pregnant? Is everything okay with the baby? Is the baby growing fine? It's just a constant mind battle. Honestly, I didn't believe I was pregnant until Amira was born. Until she was here, I was like, thank goodness I've been waiting a year and a half to get pregnant, and then an extra 9 months of pregnancy. It was too long. I waited too long for her, and now I'm obsessed with her little face, and she's waking up. So I'm going to start to wrap up this video. So thank you so much for watching my video and listening to my story that I've had for, I think I found out I was pregnant in November last year. Possibly. I can't remember, but she's 3 months old. So surely I found out in October or November. I can't remember. But thank you so much for watching and sharing my story of infertility and how that affected us. So just know, if you're experiencing it, you're not alone. And if you know someone who is experiencing it, please be there for them always, because it is not an easy time or a fun time or anything fun, really. It's the most stressful time of your life. When you don't want to be stressed, you're stressed. But if you are going through this and you are happy to share your story, please leave it in the comments below, and I will just share my love for you, because it's truly the hardest time ever. But that is it from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, share, all of the good things, and I will be back again soon with another video, hopefully a more positive one.